Honeywell, I'm from Honeywell International, so I'll just give you a brief on what solutions Honeywell is offering especially for the retail segment. Brief on Honeywell International. Honeywell is a $40 billion organization with 4 business units, especially around the aerospace, which is the biggest revenue earner for us. It's around $15 billion. The second is the performance materials and technologies. Basically, performance materials and technologies offers solutions for discrete manufacturing or any manufacturing which is process driven. The third being home and building solutions. Home and building solutions, we offer solutions in any smart building, and we also work very closely in India with the government of India and offering smart city solutions as a whole package. And the fourth being safety and productivity solutions, where I belong to, and we offer solutions specifically which revolves around the worker within a plant or within a DC, and solutions would be starting from personal protective equipment, gas detectors within a plant, also in terms of the AIDC solution, which involves scanners, printers, handheld devices, RFID devices, and workflow solutions. In that, we offer a few solutions which are revolved under various industries. So what are the today? What are the retailers facing? A tremendous change in the environment, in the way they do business, especially with e-commerce, being a big boom globally. The way the retailers are doing business is changing. The way the customers' demands are changing. The experiences that they want to feel or experience within a store or while they are shopping online is changing, right? And similarly, the workflow, we are evolving ourselves and offering solutions to meet this demand, to meet this changing environment within the retail industry. So when you talk about the main challenges and implications that today's changing retail industry is facing is mainly with the declining on the product margins. So as per a research conducted in the UK retail market, the current margins are falling from 6% to 2.5% in 2015 and is poised to go down to 1% by 2050, I mean, which is very alarming, right? With the retail business, I mean, your declining margins is really one of the biggest concerns here. And second being the increasing logistics costs, right, with the omnichannel fulfillment. So the cost is kind of increasing day by day. And third being the footfall, the decrease in the footfall in a store with the boom in the e-commerce. I think the biggest concerns with today's retailers, especially with the brick-and-mortar kind of a scenario, is the footfall is decreasing. So how do you attract your customers into a store? How do you build the throughput again? So what is the future, and how does specific industry survive? It's basically the survival of the fittest. So how do you survive in this changing environment? So your stores are now converting into a mini DC, right? So you need to be equipped. How do you do that? How do you facilitate that? Intelligent buildings, okay? So how does your building respond to the kind of environment that is changing very fast? Substantial labor reduction. You have, I think that is also one of the concerns within the industry, where getting experience or getting um, that kind of labor is becoming really difficult to have within the store. So that is another challenge that the retailer is currently facing. And the customer experiences. The customer experience is changing, and we as customers also expect much more than what we are getting, right? I mean, we are the people who set these standards, and that standard is changing rapidly. So you need to adapt to that environment as well. Again, multiple delivery methods to fulfill this kind of a requirement. So these are the main, this is how the future is leading to, and that's what you need to adapt to. So it's basically you need to shift to the new paradigms and get used to that new paradigm within the industry. So when you talk about that, Honeywell has workflow solutions which help customers to adapt to that change in terms of fulfillment of the customer demands, whether it's within the DC or within the store. So it helps in automating or in optimizing the processes within a store or within a DC. So we help you to optimize your process and to standardize your process, which will help you to execute that in a much more streamlined manner within the store or in the DC. So when you talk about the directed workflow is the basis or is the foundation towards continuous innovation. And how do you do that? In terms of a workflow, your workflows that are within DC or within the store, if you're going to have optimize your processes or standardize on the processes, they would be able to execute the task in a much more streamlined manner. In terms of within a store, if you have your customers reaching out or looking out for executive, so how do you help, how do you have your workers reach out to that customer, fulfill his needs? Stock taking is another need of the hour for every store, right? Especially with the omnichannel fulfillment and real-time visibility of the inventory, be it within the store or within the DC. So those challenges can be met if you are having a foundation of a directed workflow within the store or the DC. So with that, we have found that there are estimated increase in the productivity, almost 1% increase in the sales, 25% decrease in reduction in the shelf out of stock, and almost 20% increase in the worker productivity. Honeywell Vocollect solutions are used by more than 100,000 users worldwide. With the same, we are able to offer more than 10 to 35% of productivity increase, reduction of errors between 25 to 50%, reduction in training time, because this is what takes a lot of time for most of the organizations, be it within the store or within the DC. So you have a high attrition level, because of which you need to spend a lot of time, training time to your personnel. So that is reduced to up to 50%. Turnover reduction from 15 to 30%, and reduce safety incidents from 5 to 20%. So the workflow solutions, what are the value propositions here? What do we offer? It's basically a voice-directed solution, okay? So this optimizes your processes. We offer you ergonomically designed headset and a Talkman, because of which the experience is so, much better compared to any other devices that you could offer to your workers, and the efficiency also increases therein. We also provide you some data analytics. While we are able to improve your processes, we also offer you some data analytics, which can help you to take decisions in real time. So these are the few. Okay, this was just this slide was talking about the top 25 retailers, top globally that are using our Vocollect solutions. So we have satisfied customers already using this voice-directed workflow solution. And the another solution which I would also like to touch upon, and which is most relevant to the retail industry, again with the GST implementation in place, we have most of the customers looking at optimizing their DC space, reducing the number of DCs that they have on a pan-India level, and probably having 3 or 4 or 5 large DCs within the country. So we have automation solution, which is basically software and hardware, which is called as Intelligrated, and where we have ASRS systems, robotic palletizers, sortation systems, you name it. So it's like a automated solution. So if you have a bare space, or if you're looking at a new DC, we can build that whole DC for you, including the hardware and the software as well. This is what Honeywell is all about. We are moving towards the connected space, offering connected workflow, connected supply chain, connected plant, and that's the power of Honeywell. So any questions? I'm all through with the presentation. Do I have some time? Yeah.
Just one question we could probably take. Anybody has a question? We would definitely take one question at least.
And in case you want to reach me, we have a stall outside. You could reach me there, or I'm sure the team RAI can also share my credentials and could be in touch with us. Thank you.